Oh, yeah. At this point, as you all know, this is the Super Soul Warrior Dwan. And I'm coming at you with something new. Thank you so very much. Yeah, buddy. That's what's up, man. Thank you for your applause. All right. What I'm basically boiling down here is my subject, which is yoga and Christianity. Does that mix? That is a big question. Okay. So the main thing is this. Yoga is shunned a lot by the Christian community. And I know more than likely you guys are basically saying, hey, why are you hammering down on Christians so much? It's not the thing of me not being a Christian, or should I say a follower of Jesus Christ. It's just that we have some holes in this situation that we call Christianity. You see, Christianity is supposed to be a really big, uplifting type of deal when we improve and better ourselves within the situation of believing that Christ not only being our Savior, but a teacher for us to have and a way of life. So what I'm basically doing this podcast about is to go ahead and give you some knowledge on what yoga is all about. First of all, yoga began at about 2700 BC, right? In the ancient country called India, ancient India, right? But the thing about yoga at times is that people usually go ahead and get it mixed up with another religion called Hinduism. Hinduism, on the other hand, was discovered right about 2300 BC and 1500 BC in modern day Pakistan, right? So the thing is, what it as it shows, the larger the number, the further back it is, the shorter the number. Explain that to me. I don't know. But, people during that time period, they recorded time differently. And Hinduism was born in the country now called Pakistan, right? And like other religions, Hinduism has no one founder, but is instead a fusion of various beliefs. And it's funny you say that about it having various beliefs, because the thing is, they took yoga, which basically took yoga and implemented into their religion. So yoga pretty much predates Hinduism, and it was known as a very good exercise in order to go ahead to have vitality within your life and make you vigor and vibrant, basically, right? So the thing is, because of that, I am going to go ahead and throw out some of the benefits of yoga, right? So yoga not only improves strength, it improves strength, balance, and flexibility. And this actually is from the hospital called Johns Hopkins. It improves strength, balance, and flexibility. Slow movement and deep breathing increases the blood flow and it warms up muscles, while holding poses can build strength, right? And then yoga also helps with back pain relief, which a lot of people that I know in my life have these things because, they don't stretch out their muscles. A lot of people will go ahead and do all types of workouts and don't understand where they're getting these injuries from. Well, it's the impact and the pounding that your body takes on a regular basis. And when it's not given any type of release whatsoever, it's going to be bound up. Well, and that's how injuries come about. It also eases arthritis symptoms. It benefits heart health, and can help you relax and sleep better. It boosts your energy and mood and helps manage stress better. Now, mind you, it has all of those particular benefits, right? Now, instead of just going in and saying, going in on Christianity first, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my benefits and the things that I have very closely have been related to in how yoga benefited me. First of all, I want to say 1997, I was watching an interview with Oprah Winfrey or Oprah Winfrey show with Madonna. At the time, Madonna was having an album called A Ray of Light, if I'm not mistaken. And she was doing this interview, and somehow I'm sitting here watching this interview, and I'm seeing Madonna, and I was looking at her arms. And I was working out at the time, but I seen her arms, and I was super impressed. I was like, man, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? It must be very interesting to see. And sure enough, Madonna answered the question, basically said she does yoga on a regular basis. And I was thinking, BS, there's no way that you can go ahead and do it. But at the same time, that was the start of my journey with yoga back in 97, right? And so the thing is, by me exploring that avenue, I am at this point in the military. I've been in the military for a long time. I was in the military when that happened, and I got breaks in service and all this other stuff. But I will tell you this, because of the practice of yoga and Mighty God himself, I have been in the military for around about 20 years. And because of the practice of yoga that I have, the injuries that I have had, they disappeared on a regular because of the practice that I had. If I did not do yoga, I'm pretty sure that I would have been kicked out of the Army a long time ago, like, a medical discharge or something like that. And that usually happens when you're overtaxing your body and, they can't use you anymore because your body is so banged up. So in that, I will say this. One of the benefits that I've had with being involved with yoga is the flexibility. Also, it kind of helps the mind to slow things down, kind of like meditation, which I do that also. But kind of like with meditation, it helps you to go ahead and slow the mind down and deal with situations of life in a better way instead of just being gung-ho and ready to just get pissed off at a moment's notice. Also, yoga has helped me to slow my mind down, to not to be anxious a lot, to be able to go ahead and see situations for what they really are, or it improves that, to be able to see situations for what they are and then just deal with it accordingly. Now, am I saying I'm perfect at it? No, not at all. But at the same time, I have 4 better chances of doing, of getting it right with this practice than super getting it wrong all the time without the practice. Beyond all of that, I will say personally, I have encountered like probably 2 particular injuries. One, I had one in my shoulder because of all the running and lifting and everything that I had. And it was at one particular time that I couldn't do anything as for doing my regular routine that I usually do. But when I took on, went strong in my yoga practice, because that was all I could do, I healed up better. And I was able to come back better than ever. And this even happened even more recently when I messed up my lower back. By dropping everything else and doing yoga at the time, it has improved my health and my flexibility and strength wise, 10 times over, I must say. So the thing is, I'm not saying this from a standpoint of a person who has not really dove in this. Now, mind you, in 97, I was kind of on and off about it for about a couple of years. And then for the past, I want to say roughly 10 or maybe 15 years after that, I have been on point with doing yoga on a regular basis. And I do it daily. And it's only, some of them are 20 minutes. Some of them I have done, which is 10 minutes, which I really don't like because I like to have a real good session with it. And sometimes they can be an hour. But the thing is, by doing it before, like I go to the gym or before I do calisthenics, it just improves everything. It's like an enhancer. It's like, it's almost like a drug, especially like if you do it outside in open, fresh air. It's like a drug, like how crackheads will go ahead and go for that first high, and then for the rest of their time, when they're in their career of doing crack, they're trying to chase the very first high that you had, that they had. And the main thing is, in doing crack, you can never get that high again. But doing yoga, in my personal opinion, doing it outside, it's like I'm chasing a high and I'm getting a whole nother high each time I do it. So, but the main thing that I'm basically going to go ahead and run down real quick is the problem I have with preachers who are against yoga. Usually they have this thing of believing that it is devil worshiping, and it's no such form. Usually preachers who say that you shouldn't do it are basically usually have are fat, overweight, and eat mounds of soul food all the time, because I'm saying it from the Baptist standpoint. And they're real big on critiquing people who do it because they feel like they have the answers to everything. And that's not true. They never give any true alternatives to what to do if you shouldn't do yoga. You know, it's always some negative stuff that they've never even tried. And I really believe if most of the people in the church really tried yoga on a regular basis, that they will be far more happier people than being very judgmental that I have seen when it comes to this subject. And I feel like people should really do their research and stop being lazy and really understand what the subject is before you could go ahead and just judge it in a harsh manner. Now, mind you, the only reason why that I'm able to speak this positive, at least about the subject of yoga, is because I've tried it. And it's just like in the Christian community, if you've ever sat in church and heard any preacher do a sermon whatsoever, they will always tell you, try Jesus for yourself in order to gain the glorious experience that this man can give you. But at the same time, I will ask you to try yoga. Yoga is not a god. Yoga is not devil worshiping. Yoga is not summoning any particular demons that some people will go ahead and roll with. Because you got to remember, just because people did it do it in Hinduism, they just knew the benefits of it so well. They just felt, why don't we incorporate it into our religion? Because it's such a good thing. So I challenge you to go ahead and try yoga for yourself. And hopefully you get the benefits that I've been getting for over 20 years. I am the super soul warrior Dwan. Until next time.